There I was, standing shamefully in a courtroom, surrounded by demons on my left and angels on my right. Satan as the persecutor, holding millions of records about my life, and God sitting on a throne with a mighty gavel in his hand. I had no lawyer, placed on trial for things such as lying, stealing, and fornication. For this was the beginning of my tribulation, for there was no reason to plead an innocent statement, for all the evidence was sitting right there with Satan. The demons smiled as tears rolled down the judge's eyes, for they clearly knew that now was the hour of my demise. But wait. In came a light shining so bright that the demons smiling suddenly jumped with fright. And the man that walked in that night was none other than Jesus Christ. Darkness departed to give way, and glory was all the angels could say. As the man that walked in that night pulled out a lighter and immediately set Satan's records against me on fire. He took the sentence file and erased my name, looked at me in the eyes and said, "Daughter, I'll take the blame." Handcuffs were placed on this man and he was thrown to the ground. The entire courtroom gasped at this horrendous sound, and the sudden seized the beat of his heart. The man that walked in glowing had now become dark. I did this to him. My lying, my stealing, my cheating, and he took the pain and spent 3 days in the hell that I was to go to for eternity. I left the courtroom that day, and there was nothing I could say. I was found innocent, for Christ handled the debt that I was to pay. This type of love is more than you could give to a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife. This man died for me. I owe him my life. And even though my life is not at all worth it, how could you ever trade preference for perfect? See, I gave my life to Christ and suddenly picked up a mop. The lying, cursing, cheating, all that had to stop, because my life had been bought. And it'd be a shame to sit there and do nothing but let it rot. I'm not perfect, and the will to sin hasn't completely diminished from my life. But I believe Jesus' words when he died for me on that cross. It is finished.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's service. My name is Pelumi Davids. So for the last 3 weeks, we have been talking about family relationships and how to keep a good family relationship. At first, we talked about loving ourselves. Then we moved to loving our siblings and having a good sibling relationship. And then last week, I was with my mom and we talked about having a good parent relationship. So for this service, the Ignite teams sent us some problems or issues they normally have with their families, and asking us, as me and some other people, the adults in the Ignite teams, to give them advice. So I asked some adults, I asked the teachers for the best way to go around these problems. So let us start. So the first one says, "My younger brother bugs me a lot. He's always taking my stuff without asking me, and my family doesn't give me the space I want." So firstly, it says my brother bugs me a lot and he takes stuff without asking me. I'm the eldest of four. I have 3 younger sisters. So I can attest to this, like my younger siblings bugging me. But I know that from their perspective, they just want to spend time with me, and maybe I'm not spending time with them. So they're just coming to me to say, "Okay, Pelumi," they're just finding any way to spend time with me. And so that's maybe what your younger brother is doing as well. So you need to understand that he just wants to spend time with you. So you should also go out of your way to spend time with him. Don't always be in your room or always on your laptop or your phone, or even in schoolwork. I know schoolwork can take a lot of our time, but at least schedule a time schedule a particular time to play with your siblings, because we are going to leave the house soon. We're not going to be with them all the time. So it's better to make sure we maximize the time we do have with them. And then taking stuff without asking me. Well, we're all girls in the family. I know I take things from my sisters without asking her, and my younger sister also takes things from me without asking me. And the best way we have found about this is communicating, talking to each other. So you tell them, like I would tell my sister that, okay, if you want anything that's mine, ask me. Even though I might say no or yes, just ask me. You never know if I'm going to say yes. So ask me. So make it known to them that just ask me, and say it in a polite way. Don't command them that you have to ask me. Like, say it in a nice way. Ask me if you want to take my clothes, if you want to wear my clothes, if you want to borrow them for a while. Make it open, make it a communication, make it a talk, like a conversation. And he might be, like for my younger sister, she told me one time that she was scared to ask. So she also understands that sometimes they might be scared to ask, and that's understandable, because for us sometimes we're scared to ask our parents for something that we might want. So for like them too, they are scared to ask us for like what they want. So I think it's important to understand that sometimes they might be scared. So just go easy on them. They're not doing that to really spite us in a way. They might just be scared. So just understand, communicate, talk to them. Manners, you're teaching them manners by even telling them to ask and be polite about it. So that's one way of going about it, communication. And then the other part of this person's message was, my family doesn't give me the space I want. Okay, as teenagers, we want to have a lot of space. We want to be by ourselves a lot. Maybe it's a phase in this teenage life, but I know I've passed through it and I wanted a lot of space, and I felt like my family wasn't giving me a lot of space. So first thing is communication as well. Telling our parents and siblings that, okay, please, like, I want to be by myself. Like, just making it in a nice way as well. Like, the way you talk to somebody will also influence how they respond to you and how they react. So just telling them in a nice way that I want to spend time alone for this period of time, maybe doing work or just talking to friends, just spending time by myself. And then also, it might feel like they are just choking you up, but maybe you're not giving them enough, you're not spending enough time with them, and they want to spend more time with you. They want you to be part of their lives, and the only way for them to go around it is to bug you like your little brother maybe. And I know it might be hard to accept it, but think about it, like they just care about you, they just love you, they just want to spend time with you and have fun with you, your parents and your siblings, and you should embrace it. Don't push it away that much. And we are going to leave the house soon. We're not going to spend our whole lives with our families and our siblings and our parents. So this time we have together, especially in the lockdown, we should make sure we are actually spending time, because we can be at home but not having the same experience with anyone, not knowing what's happening in the house. We can be at home but just in our own world, in our room. So we should allow them sometimes choke you up and take your space and invade your space, but also communicate that, okay, please, I will need this time to just be by myself. And being by yourself doesn't mean that you should just be working and just be playing with your phone or just be with social media. You should also be using that time by yourself to be productive. Like if your parents see that you're being productive with your time alone, they'll respect that space that they give you. So just balance it as well. Like when you're alone, do something productive. Read, do your schoolwork, do something that will lift you up. Not just spending hours watching TV, hours on social media, hours talking to your friends. Then your parents will also get annoyed and say, okay, you want me to leave you alone, but you have time to talk to other people, but not me. So just remember that, consider other people's feelings, put yourselves also in their shoes and think about what might be going through their heads when they're doing this and this. That will help that situation. Okay, moving on. It says, my mom and I always fight because of my brothers. She's always taking their sides no matter what happens. Wow. Well, I'm guessing you might be an older brother or elder sibling. Sometimes when that happens, so obviously you and your brothers are fighting a lot, and when your mom tries to intervene, she goes with your brother's side. It seems like she goes with your brother's side. So for me, I would say that if you're having this issue, you should talk to your mom. Talk to her when she's in a good mood, a calm mood. I think that's the best way to go about it. Just say, okay, mommy, sometimes I've noticed that it feels like, because it might not actually be the case, it might just be you perceiving it. So it might not be your mom might not be intending to take their side. So just tell her that, okay, it feels like you're always taking so and so sides every time you're having an argument, and it makes me feel unhappy. It doesn't seem fair. Talk to her so that she can understand where you're coming from in a nice way. Like, remember, she's still your mom, she's still your parent. Talk to her in a nice, polite way, respectful way, but also that she understands that you're not happy about this. And I know it might, like for my younger sibling, when my mom takes their side, when it seems like she's taking their side, I understand it because that I try to see in a way that they might not understand it, that I'm right sometimes. Like maybe I know that I am right, but the best way to go around it, especially because of their young age, is to go with their side. So you cannot talk to your mom outside this and say, but mommy, you know that it was not my fault, or you know that I was not intending to do this. So talking to your mom too helps in a calm way. When she's not angry, don't talk to her when she just comes back from work, because you know that she's just tired and stressed. So let her rest too. That's one way of going about. That's a way of going about it. Okay, the next one says, my elder brother snitches on me and I don't like it. Well, teenagers have a big stance on snitching, and we'll say snitching gets stitches, or something like that. Snitches get stitches, or you're a rat if you snitch, or you're a snake if you snitch. We are very big on not snitching, and we don't like snitching. But I've tried to, recently, I know a lot of things have been happening on social media with snitching, with a rapper snitching. So I think for this case, your elder brother is snitching on you. So firstly, you have done something wrong, and you know you have done something wrong, and you don't want him to tell your parent or your guardian. That's the first thing. And you are most likely angry that he's telling your parent or your guardian about what you have done wrong. So first think about this, that your elder brother actually cares about you. That's why he's snitching. He actually wants you to be better, and so he's taking it to the person or the people that he feels that will make you do better and be better and correct that mistake or wrongdoing. He's not necessarily doing it to make you angry. He's just doing it for your best interest in mind. So you should think about why your elder brother is doing it. He's not just doing it to make you angry or to just be a snitch. I know we don't like snitches, but he might be doing it because he might not know how to correct you or tell you to do the right thing. So you're basically wanting him to cover up your wrongdoing. So you should be glad in a way that he's not covering what you're doing up, because in the future it will just come back to hurt you. He's actually looking out for you, and think about this, he's caring about you, he's loving you, and it might not seem like a nice thing to do at that time, but maybe that's the only thing he feels like he can do, and we can't blame him at that time because he just wants you to be better. So, and if you really don't like him snitching, you can also talk to him that, okay, if I've done something wrong, before you go talk to mommy and daddy, can you come and tell me that this is wrong? Maybe that's a way of, you can also tell him that, because I know if my sister does something wrong, I would tell her that, okay, Shubomi, maybe this wasn't the best thing to do. But then if I see that she does it again and again, then I go snitch on her, or I go tell mommy and daddy, because that's the authority ahead of both of us, and they know how to deal with it best. So that's one way. Like, your brother is not trying to be mean or be a party pooper. He cares about you a lot. So it's a blessing in disguise that he's snitching. It's a blessing. Okay, the next one says, my brother is too bossy and I feel he treats me like a slave. Well, I will actually say that I'm a choleric, so I know that I can be bossy, and I know that I can be a bit commanding, and I actually had to learn. I had to learn that I needed to be a bit careful how I treat my younger siblings, because I know they didn't like it. So if you are listening and you know that maybe you're choleric or you are very bossy or commanding, just take this time to pause and think about how you have been treating your younger sibling or even your friends, and apologize, because it might feel like you're treating them like a slave. For this situation, I would say communication is the best answer to this as well. My sisters have told me that I'm bossy, and I didn't hear from anybody else. It was from them, and that's where I knew that I had to change. Because for them to tell me, it actually hurts me that, oh, it was affecting them this much. So please tell your brother, because he might not be intending to be bossy. It might just be a personality trait, like part of his personality trait, part of his, like, choleric people tend to be quite bossy. So just tell him in a nice way as well that, okay, why don't you tell me to do so and so, you can sound very bossy. So you can tend to be a bit more polite about it. And we are siblings, are human beings. Please, I feel like we should always use please and thank you. Manners should come in place when you're talking to anybody, especially your siblings, like they're your blood. So don't treat anybody like a slave. Nobody wants to feel like they are a slave in their own house, especially. So please, if you know that you're bossy, even if you feel, that means you are. If you feel like you're bossy, you are bossy. So go and apologize and say, I'm sorry, I didn't know that I'm bossy like this. And talk to your brother. Tell him that, please, when you're telling me to do something, please say it in a nicer way so it doesn't feel like you are commanding and directing me like a soldier. So that's a good way. I think that will help that situation. Okay, this one says, it's an interesting one. It says, each time my mom pollutes the air, I do tell her courtesy demands she says sorry, but she says I'm a disrespectful child and I'm not meant to tell her that. I know a lot of people go through this. I actually know, especially Africans, sometimes we don't want to own up when we do such things. But as a teenager, and I think as a child talking to your mom, the first thing to do is, I consulted a lot of people about this question in particular, and many people said that the way you talk to your mom, maybe she's perceiving that as being disrespectful. So be careful on the tone you talk to your mom. She's your mom. You don't say courtesy demands sorry. Like, even we have African parents. Obviously, that will be disrespectful to them. Like, you might not think that's disrespectful, but they will feel that's disrespectful that you're correcting them or you're trying to teach them something. So, like, say it in a humorous or creative way, like, mommy now. If it was me, you say I should say sorry. Like, in a creative way like that. She might not own up yet, but in the back of her mind, she might know. So be careful of how you talk to your parents. Any situation, in this situation, if they do anything wrong or you think they do anything wrong, don't do it in a authoritative tone. They are still your parents, and we have African parents. We're like 19th, we're in Nigeria, so we have to be extra careful of how we respond to our parents in that situation. So be careful on the tone you use on your parents. It might not feel like you're disrespecting them or you're being rude, but to them, put yourself in their shoes as well. Many people in Nigeria especially pollute the air without excusing themselves or saying sorry. And I'll say that to anybody, teenager, parents, anybody, if you do this and you do this without caution, do please say sorry or please excuse yourself. Consider the people around you as well. Wow, let's be considerate for our environment and the people around us. It might not be nice. In the bus, we'll complain about people doing this, so don't do this at home to your siblings or your parents. So please be considerate. So that is all for now. So for all of these questions and problems, I would say that an important thing to do with anything you have problem with is praying and talking to God. And I know for these things, it might feel like it's too small. Why should I disturb God for this small issue or for this minuscule drama or problem? But that's what God is for. He's God for every single thing. And I know people say that there's nothing too big for God. There's also nothing too small for God. Like, we should be free to talk to our Father. He created us. He knows what we're going through. So he wants us to be open and talk to him. I know, like, sometimes if you come to my room and see me after I've had a problem, an argument with my sister, you think I'm crazy because I'm talking to God. I'm venting to God. God, like, why? Like, just talk to God like a friend. As I said, praying and talking to God is simple. It's not a forced act. It's something that we should do religiously. Like, It's like talking to your friend. So, like, if you say, okay, for example, when I feel like my mom has done something to me that I don't like, before I talk to her, I'll go to God and say, okay, God, this is what has happened. I know that God has seen what has happened though, but I'm still telling him that, okay, God, this is what happened. I don't like what mommy did. So please, Lord, as I go and talk to her, can the Holy Spirit, can you soften her heart for her to understand where I'm coming from? Can you make her understand that there's nothing too small for God? Talking to God about that, there's nothing too small. So in all, with these questions and problems I brought to the teens church, I think that in any situation, we should always pray and talk to God about anything we have going through. And it might seem that some things might be too small for God. Like, why would God care about my arguments with my sister when there's war going on in the world, when there's so much going around in the world? But he's God for a reason. He's God for everything. And he's so powerful and huge and magnificent and awesome that he is there for any situation, the small ones, the little ones, the big ones. So there's nothing too small for God. If you have an argument with your sister, go and vent to God first. I think that's the perfect way to release your anger to, while you're in your room or while you're trying to let go of your anger, be talking to God like, God, did you see what happened? You know that he's so, but talk to him like your friend or your father. And especially with our parents, when we want to talk to our parents about anything, or we want to tell our parents something that say that we don't like the way they talk to us about something, talk to God about it first. Go to him and say, Lord, please, as I go to mommy or daddy about the situation, can you please open their hearts, soften their hearts so they can understand where I'm coming from? I think that's perfect. And God is the answer to every problem. Praying is the answer. Prayer is the key. Prayer is the master key. As we sang a long time ago, prayer is still the master key. It will always be the master key. God is the answer to all our problems. And he will then direct us to know the best way to handle everything. So our Bible verse for this week is taken from 1 John 3 verse 18. And I'm reading the easy to read version, the ERV. And it says, my children, our love should not be only words and talk. No, our love must be real. We must show our love by the things we do. Actions speak louder than words. So we must show our siblings, our parents, how we really love them by our actions. We can say I love you so easy. We can say I love you 1,000,000 times. We can say I'm sorry so many times. We can say I would change, I would do this better. But we really need to act it out. We really need to ask God to help us internalize it and act it out, because actions speak louder than words, and actions is a way to show our real love for anyone around us. And God will help us all in Jesus' name.
Amen.
So I want to thank everybody for watching our service. I want to thank our Ignite teams for trusting us to go through your problems with you. We hope that these things will get sorted in Jesus' name. And as the lockdown continues, as this thing continues, please plead that everyone be patient, be grateful to God as well that you are still alive, that you are still well, and you have great people around you. Thank you, the Ignite Teens teachers, for always keeping in contact with us, the Global Impact Church media team as well. We love you, everybody. We miss you all. The Ignite Teens content team, I want to say thank you for helping everybody with this time, for always chatting with us on our group chat. So everybody, please be safe, keep safe, be healthy. And next week, we're going to have an interesting talk about social media and the internet. So bye. See you next week.